Hey everybody, it's been a great weekend and a great day today. Tonight we are talking about question tags. What are question tags? They're questions we add to the end of a sentence or statement to make it a question. Like, you've got a blue water bottle, don't you? Why, yes I do. Exactly like that. So, let's get started. Question tags. What we'll learn today. 1. What question tags are. 2. The formula for each verb. 3. How to use them. Question tags are short questions that can follow sentences, especially in spoken English. We use question tags to ask if something is true or to ask people to agree with us. A positive statement ends with a negative tag. So a positive statement is followed by a negative question tag. Positive, negative. You're a police officer. This is a positive statement. Aren't you? And this is the negative tag. You're a police officer. Aren't you? A negative statement is followed by a positive question tag. You're not a police officer. Are you? With the verb to be. You are a student, aren't you? Or she is beautiful, isn't she? And I'm late, aren't I? The question tag you use for I am is aren't. So I'm late, aren't I? With the verb to have, you've got a cat, haven't you? And he hasn't lost his job, has he? With the verbs do and don't. You want to see a movie tonight, don't you? Or you don't eat peanuts, do you? I certainly don't. With the verbs does and doesn't. He has a twin sister, doesn't he? Or she doesn't listen to much music, does she? Notice that the doesn't is the negative and the does is the positive. If it begins with positive, it ends with negative, and the other way around. With the verbs did and didn't. You didn't eat already, did you? And he won the lottery, didn't he? Notice here we don't have the word did, but we still end the sentence with didn't. Keep this in mind. With modal verbs, they can drive, can't they? And you won't lie to me, will you? Here are our modal verbs. Can changes to can't, and won't to will. With the exception of let's. Using let's at the beginning of a sentence has a unique question tag. Shall we? Let's go to the zoo, shall we? Or let's eat a tub of ice cream, shall we? Here is a nice quick review of question tags in many different verb tenses. In present be, with a positive beginning, she is American, isn't she? And the opposite, she isn't American, is she? Notice how you can say the same thing in two different ways. All right, well done. Great job sticking through the slides. Now let's do some exercises before we get into the homework. All right, let's get some practice with question tags. So complete each sentence with a question tag. Here we have, it's a nice day. and we'd finish it with, it's a nice day, isn't it? You're not English. You're not English, are you? She isn't happy. She isn't happy, is she? He's French. He's French, isn't he? You live in London. You live in London, don't you? Notice again, we don't have any do here, but we still end with don't. He doesn't eat meat. He doesn't eat meat, does he? She works a lot. She works a lot, doesn't she? They're watching TV. They are watching TV, aren't they? He isn't working today. He isn't working today, is he? Brian's reading. Brian's reading, isn't he? You can swim. You can swim, can't you? She can't play the piano. She can't play the piano, can she? She saw Bill yesterday. She saw Bill yesterday, didn't she? They didn't like the film. They didn't like the film, did they? You told Jane. You told Jane, didn't you? He didn't answer the letter. He didn't answer the letter, did he? You've been here before. You've been here before, haven't you? He hasn't eaten yet. He hasn't eaten yet, has he? She's just arrived. She's just arrived, hasn't she? You were talking on the phone. You were talking on the phone, weren't you? Were changes to weren't. He was bringing the bread. He was bringing the bread, wasn't he? In the past, was changes to wasn't. I was picking you up. I was picking you up, wasn't I? They won't be late. They won't be late. Will they? You will send me a postcard. You will send me a postcard, won't you? He won't be at home tomorrow. He won't be at home tomorrow. Will he? We are going to be late. We are going to be late, aren't we? I'm not going to remember. I'm not going to remember. Am I? He's going to take an exam. He's going to take an exam, isn't he? They had been there before. They had been there before. Hadn't they? She had already been told. She had already been told. Hadn't she? You'd like a cup of tea. You'd like a cup of tea, wouldn't you? She wouldn't like to be late. She wouldn't like to be late. Would she? He would call if he were late. He would call if he were late. Wouldn't he? We mustn't tell her. We mustn't tell her. Must we? They have to listen in class. They have to listen in class, don't they? I don't have to wait for you. I don't have to wait for you. Do I? All right, excellent job, everybody. All right, well done. Not a lot of homework today, just 8 questions, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one. So for homework, I'd like us to fill in the blank for these 8 sentences using question tags. We have, you got the job. Then you fill that in. I'll leave this up for a few seconds so you guys can pause it and write this down. Thanks again for tuning in, and have a lovely evening.